Hello students, welcome to the class of control system. Today we are going to understand the very basics of control system. We are going to follow this syllabus of West Bengal State Council of Technical Education and Vocational Training for Diploma in Mechanical Engineering. Now, control engineering is concerned with techniques that are used to solve very complex and tough problems in mechanical engineering in the most efficient and optimized manner. The problems are as follows. The identification problem, it is the problem to measure the variables and convert data for analysis. The representation problem, to describe a system by an analytical form or mathematical model. The solution problem is to determine the above system model response. The stability problem, generally this is the qualitative analysis of a system. The design problem, modification of an existing system or develop a new modified system. The optimization problem is the problem of choosing the best design out of varieties of designs. Now, the above problems, the above 6 problems can be solved by two basic approaches. One is conventional approach, which is electrical oriented based on complex function theory, and another is the mechanical approach, which is based on mechanical oriented approach based on the state variable theory. Now, we must know, we must understand how a control system looks like and what are the basic things in a control system. This is the basic block diagram of a control system. In a control system, we are going to find an input and an output, and this particular block is the control logic. Here the output is controlled by the input. If input varies, the output will also vary. Now, before we dig deep inside control system, we must understand the classifications of control system. Control system is classified into continuous type and discrete type control system based on the time. Now, control system classified as continuous time control system and discrete time control system based on the type of signals used. In continuous type control system or continuous time control system, all the signals are continuous in nature, but in discrete time control system there exist only one or more discrete signals. Control system is again classified as CISO and MIMO control systems. CISO is single input, single output, and MIMO is multiple input, multiple output. That means control system can also be classified based on their inputs and outputs. Again, control system is classified as open loop control system. In open loop control system, output is based on input, but there is no feedback. So, output will not give any feedback to the input. Now, what is feedback? If either the output or some part of the output is returned to the input side and utilized as a part of the system input, it is known as feedback. In open loop control system, feedback is absent. In open loop control system, an input is applied to a controller and it produces an actuating signal. That signal is given as input to a plant or a process, and that plant or the process will produce an output. As for example, the traffic light control system is the open loop control system. Now, in closed loop control system, we will find that part of the output is taken as feedback and injected with the help of a comparator in the input side. Now in closed loop control system, feedback is present. So control action is dependent on desired output. The error detector produces error signal which is the difference between the input and the feedback signal. This feedback signal is obtained from the block by considering the output of the overall system as an input to this block. Instead of direct input, the error signal is applied as a part of input to the controller. The controller produces modified actuating signal which is then applied to the process or the plant, and the plant produces a desired output. This is basically an automatic process, and sometimes this type of control loop is known as automatic control system. Now the basic difference between open loop control system and closed loop control system is, in closed loop control system, control action is dependent on desired output. In open loop control system, control action is independent of desired output. In closed loop control system, feedback is present. In open loop control system, feedback is absent. In closed loop control system, accuracy is highly obtained. In open loop control system, accuracy not at all obtained. In terms of cost, closed loop control system is much more costlier than open loop, and open loop is economical. Closed loop control system is difficult to design, open loop control system is easy to design. Now, depending on the feedback, we can classify control system in two different ways. I mean, we can define the feedback in two different ways or two different parts. One is positive feedback and another is negative feedback. Now the positive feedback adds the reference input and feedback output. Here in this following figure, we can get a clear idea that how the feedback is happening. Now, while we are going to understand feedback, we must understand the transfer function. In this particular positive feedback analysis, we take T equals to G by 1 minus GH is the transfer function, where T is the transfer function and G defines the open loop gain here in this controller, and H is the feedback, which is a function of frequency. Thus, in case of positive feedback, the transfer function will be T equals to G divided by 1 minus G multiplied by H. And in negative feedback, the transfer function changes, T equals to G divided by 1 plus G multiplied by H. The basic difference between the positive feedback and the negative feedback is that the transfer function is basically different. In positive feedback, we have 1 minus G multiplied by H. In negative feedback, we are having 1 plus G multiplied by H. In positive feedback, the system tends to become unstable, and negative feedback helps to control the proper output as desired. Now this concludes the today's class on the introduction of control system. If you have any query about this class, please contact me. Thank you.